Welcome back to Somerset Place State Historic Site. On this episode of the enslaved community in 1843, we're focusing on the 11th slave dwelling that stood in the general area you see here. As we discussed in our introductory video, there were a total of 23 small slave homes, and of those 23, this particular dwelling was the largest household. There were 15 enslaved persons living here at the time, including the patriarch of this home, a 54-year-old man listed as Old Fred, to distinguish him from other Freds in the enslaved community. Fred was one of 3 children born to Old Nanny Gray, but Fred's surname was not recorded. However, most of his children carried the surname of his wife, Chloe Payne, when they were documented on various slave lists. Unfortunately, Chloe passed away in 1840. Fred labored as a blacksmith at Somerset Place, and you can learn more about this trade in our video about the blacksmith shop linked at the end of this episode. Fred also had at least 6 children with Chloe, all of whom were recorded living with their father in 1843. Becky Parsons, age 31, Esther Payne, age 29, Charlotte Payne, age 27, Jack Payne, age 24, and twins Nancy and Charity Payne, age 15. Also living with them were Becky's children, 6-year-old Cassius and 2-year-old Wilson. Becky was listed in other documents with the surname Parsons, but her partner was not recorded, and the meaning of her last name is unknown. However, we do know that Becky's younger sister, Esther, was married to 35-year-old Ben Davis, who also lived in the same household alongside their 3 children, Scotty, age 11, Shadrach, age 3, and Austin, who was an infant. In addition, they had a 7-year-old daughter named Ari, who lived with her Aunt Polly and grandmother Suki Davis in the first 2-story dwelling. Suki was Ben's mother. Lastly, 2 other children lived in the old Fred home, Adeline and Chloe Payne, both of whom were Charlotte's children aged 6 years and younger. Charlotte was a weaver who likely worked in the manufactory, which you can learn more about in our video linked at the end of this episode. Tragically, though, Chloe passed away later in 1843, and Charlotte appears to have suffered from some sort of ailment because she was documented as being, quote, feeble. The year 1843 proved to be turbulent for the extended Payne family, because the entire surviving household was forcibly removed from their home at Somerset Place and sent to Alabama after they were all inherited by Louisa Collins and her husband Thomas Harrison. Not much is known of their lives in Alabama, although Esther and Ben had 5 more children and several grandchildren after Ben's death in 1864. Thankfully, all of their children lived to see emancipation the following year. Although no other enslaved household at Somerset Place was entirely relocated to Alabama, every multi-generational family was forced to say goodbye to at least one of their kin, and we'll continue to see how that affected those families in our upcoming videos. Make sure you know when they're posted by subscribing to our channel and ringing the bell for notifications. We hope to see you here sometime, and until next time, thanks for joining us.